Today, we are diving into a really interesting piece of technology. It's one that's built to, well, break the chains of our most common and, let's be honest, often most frustrating business tools. We're talking about unlimiting the complex systems that we all have to rely on every single day.
So let's just jump right in with a big question. What if you could take that massive mission critical spreadsheet, the one that practically groans every time you make a change, and transform it into a super fast, interactive web application pretty much overnight? I know, it sounds like a bit of a fantasy, right? Well, stick with me because today we're going to explore how that idea is actually becoming a reality. But first, we need to talk about a problem that, honestly, almost every single business leader, analyst, and developer has run into. I like to call it the spreadsheet trap. Look, spreadsheets are fantastic for getting ideas off the ground. They're easy, they're intuitive, and they are incredibly flexible. But that very simplicity, it comes with a hidden and often enormous cost. Because as a model gets more and more complex, its greatest strength suddenly becomes its biggest weakness. And just to give you an idea of the scale of this problem, get ready for this. According to the European Spreadsheet Risk Interest Group, a staggering 90%, that's 9 out of every 10, of all spreadsheets have errors in them, and over half have material mistakes. That is a huge invisible risk just sitting inside thousands of businesses. And this right here shows you exactly why. On one side, you've got that endless horizontal scroll, a system that's just impossible to navigate. And on the other, a wall of cell formulas. It's an absolute nightmare to try and audit, debug, or even just understand what's going on. The logic is trapped, it's brittle, and it is so easy for human error to creep in. So this leaves businesses with this awful choice. Do you stick with the fragile, error-prone spreadsheet, or do you start a huge custom software project that's going to be expensive, take months or even years, and often disconnects the final product from the actual business experts who knew the logic in the first place? It really is a classic catch-22. But what if there was a third option? A completely new approach designed specifically to bridge that gap. And that's exactly what we're going to look at next. And that brings us to Z, or Z cubed. Now, this isn't just another programming language. You can think of it more like a hybrid, a bridge. It takes the entire world of spreadsheet functions that you already know, brings it into a modern coding environment, connects it to this massive library of open source tools called NPM, and makes sure the whole thing works perfectly with JavaScript. And here it is. This is the aha moment. Just look at this code. You're seeing these powerful, familiar Excel functions like network days and VLOOKUP and match, and they're being used directly inside a structured, modern programming language. That is the core magic right there. It lets you keep the logic you trust, but you get to put it inside a robust, scalable framework. Now, to put this into perspective, think about what a tool called NumPy did for scientific computing in Python. It took this fragmented world and unified it around one powerful tool, which basically unleashed a massive wave of innovation, including a lot of modern AI. The ambition for Z is really similar, to be that unifying force for all our business and operational logic. Okay, so that's the theory. It sounds great, but does it actually work in the real world? Let's check out a case study that shows what this kind of transformation looks like in practice. So here's the before picture. A major facilities management company was using this colossal Excel model for all their resource planning. It had thousands of columns, incredibly complex formulas, and the result? It was so slow that it took several minutes to recalculate after any single change. It was basically unusable. And here is the after. This is the exact same logic, the same model, but rebuilt in Z. It's not a spreadsheet anymore. It's a dynamic, instantaneous web application with interactive dashboards. Now, users can explore data, analyze costs, and make decisions in real time. I mean, the difference is just night and day. Let's pop the hood for just a second. On the left, there's that wall of incomprehensible Excel formulas we saw earlier. And on the right, that's the Z code that replaced it. It's clean, it's structured, and it's easy to understand. The logic isn't hidden and copied across thousands of cells anymore. It's defined one time, nice and clearly. So what was the actual business impact here? Well, the computation became instant, which is great, but the benefits went way beyond just speed. This new system made it possible to do advanced analytics that were just impossible before. It could be deployed as a secure web app, which not only improved data protection, but also, and this is really cool, it opened the door for the company to offer their model as a new service to their own customers. This case study is really powerful, but it points to a much, much bigger vision. This isn't just about fixing broken spreadsheets, it's about rethinking how all of our software systems can work together. And as this diagram shows so well, Z is really targeting a huge gap in the market. It's for all those problems that are way too complex and risky for a spreadsheet, but maybe don't quite justify the time and money of a full-blown custom enterprise system. It's designed for that massive underserved middle ground. And that brings us to the grand vision: simplify, unify, omnify. The goal here is to solve that constant problem of fragmentation in software, where we have one tool for our data, another for analysis, and a third for presentation. Ziz is trying to create a single computational hyperspace, basically a unified environment where all these pieces can live and work together without any friction. And this is what makes that whole vision possible. Z is platform agnostic. That means the very same code, the exact same logic, can run in a browser, on a desktop, or on a powerful server. That is a total game changer. It means your logic is portable, your system is flexible, and you don't have to rebuild the entire thing just to use it somewhere else. Which brings us right back to where we started. The tools we use to build our most critical systems often end up becoming their biggest limitation. The question this technology asks is a simple one, but it's pretty profound. What could we build? What new possibilities could we unlock if those limits were just gone? Are we ready to find out?